What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Neighbor's Kitchen. I'm Danny, and today we're cooking this creamy cheeseburger and broccoli skillet dinner. You're gonna love this. It's awesome. It comes together very quickly. It is so delicious and makes the perfect weeknight meal. Let's get cooking. All right, you guys ready? This is what I would call my 12-inch skillet, but the manufacturer, which I use all Lodge, actually calls this a 10 1/4 because it's 10 1/4 at the bottom, but it's 12 at the top. So you just want a large skillet. This is preheated to a medium heat. You want something, everybody's stove is a little bit different, but you want something that's going to give our burgers a nice kind of char on them. And we're gonna put the burgers in whole and chop them up later. We're going to do some temperature adjustments, which is going to give us just a lovely texture. Don't skip all that, trust me. So this is preheated. I'm going to go ahead and put down some bacon grease, just to encourage a nice non-stick surface. Get that spread out nice and evenly. And with some 2 to 1, we're going to coat our burger patties, 80-20. This is 4 patties from the store, which equates to 1 pound. You can use ground beef if you want to, but this little extra step we're doing adds a very nice texture to this recipe that I would recommend not skipping. What we are looking for right now is a nice kind of char on one side. We're gonna flip it over, and then we're gonna add in our onions and garlic to get them nice and fragrant. And then we're gonna flip them over, and then we're gonna chop everything up and get it all nice and cooked. And then we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. This adds an amazing texture that you are going to love. All right, it's been a couple of minutes. I've just been kind of evenly rotating, pressing these down so that we get a nice texture on all of them. And we're gonna go ahead and give our burgers a flip. And this nice little char is what we're looking for. That's texture that's just gonna add so much to this recipe. What I like to do is try to bring a little bit of this burger grease into the center. Because now we're going to add our onions at the flip. And then a little area in the middle, come in with some garlic paste. We're going to add 1 and 2 squeezes of garlic, about the same as 2 garlic cloves. And then we're going to come back in with some more 2 to 1. We're going to get that on our onions, nice and flavorful. And as the second side of our burgers are cooking, our onions and garlic are getting nice and fragrant. Every once in a while, I like to come in here, just get that garlic nice and dispersed. See how those are sauteing up nicely? And the fragrance is just phenomenal. Our burgers are getting a nice brown on the other side. We're gonna give it just another minute or so, and then we're gonna chop all this up. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. I've just been stirring our onions and garlic. What I like to do now is just kind of separate the two. I'm going to bring the onion up to the top for a moment. Bring our burger patties down here. And with a meat chopper, this is where the recipe starts to come together, because all of our chunks of burger now have a really nice char on them, but they also have a juicy kind of tenderness to it, and it makes for a texture that's just unmatched if you use ground beef. If you need, make sure you have one of these to protect your hands. And see, I don't want ground beef kind of grinds. I want this bigger chunk of hamburger which is what this recipe really needs to be awesome. And now we're gonna go in here. We're gonna get our onion nice and evenly distributed. I'm gonna give it another pinch of 2-to-1 while we're here. So this beef is going to continue to cook. What we want to do now is push your burger and onion out to the sides. You want to decrease your heat to a nice medium low. We're going to take our broccoli at this point. We're going to put that into the middle with a splash of water and a lid. Just a couple of minutes. We're going to let this broccoli steam, get nice and beautifully green. Then we're going to mix it together and we're going to work on our sauce. It's been a couple of minutes, and every once in a while I've just kind of been stirring all of our ingredients together. And this might be a recipe that you have to play with a little bit. Everybody has a bit of a different take on where their broccoli should be. So we're going to find a little piece. It's got a little bit of crunch left to it. It's not done cooking. We have more to do. So now, for me, it's my time to do that same thing. We're going to make a little bit of a bowl. We're going to add another pinch of salt and pepper. Into the middle, we're going to add 1 and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. About half a cup of heavy whipping cream. We're going to help get this butter nice and melty. Once the butter is melted, we're going to turn it down to a nice low temperature, and we're going to add about half a cup of cheddar cheese. And I recommend shredding your own. I understand this is supposed to be an easy weeknight skillet meal. Go ahead and use pre-shredded if you want, but if you have the time, shred it yourself. It'll make for a much more better melt. Every once in a while, we're going to come in here and just stir up our cheddar cheese. We're looking for a good melt here. Once your cheddars become nice and melty like that, we have but a couple more ingredients to add. A little bit of Dijon mustard, about a teaspoon. A little bit way too much of smoked paprika. Stir that into your sauce, and now we're going to bring the whole recipe together. There's a little bit of cream left over. You just want to keep on going. I wish you guys could smell this right now. Oh, it's so good. Just keep working everything together. This is where the creaminess comes into play. You see how that's starting to incorporate? And there we go. Never hurts before you serve it to you or your family to just grab a piece of broccoli and make sure it is where you want it to be. I like mine right there with just a little bit of crunch left to it. Look at that. I saved some cheese aside. We need just a little more on top, yeah? There we go. Well, what did you guys think of that? Came together pretty quickly. Honestly, great weeknight meal. This recipe, as it is written in the description below, will feed between 4 and 5 people, depending on how hungry you are or what size humans you are. Easily expandable or minimalizable. Sure, that's a word. If you're just one person or a couple, you can have it. Go down to a smaller skillet. You can double it and do this outside on your flat top grill. Just make sure to make a nice dam when you're making your sauce so that it doesn't run off. So it doesn't run off wherever you don't want it. Let's check out how this is. Look at that. Look at that. It's creamy, it's cheesy, it's burgery, it's broccoli. Oh my goodness, that was terrible. Mmm. Sadie, I'm trying to film here, man. The depth of flavor that the Dijon mustard gives that sauce, along with the paprika, the onions and the garlic went in at the right time. That extra little char on the cheeseburger. Go outside. The extra little char on the cheeseburger before breaking it up makes that procedure superior to using ground beef. You're gonna love it. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. This was fun. Go find me on the socials. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. This recipe was actually viewer suggested. I tweaked it a lot to make it my own, but that's what's fun over here. Happy to share it with you. You can go ahead and you can help guide the channel. I appreciate that. If you want to help me out in a little more direct way, check out my affiliate links down below and use the stuff I use. And once again, thank you so much. Until next week, be well.